It's the School of the Masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show, episode 119. I am your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my left is Scholar Tarek.
Hello everybody.
And to my left is Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
What's going on?
Well, this is a very ups and downs week for me. I don't know what you thought of, not just well above this week's Raw, but just the setup to NXT Takeover and just some of the other things coming out this week. This one was a weird one.
This one was more of a going through the motions type week. Like, last week actually meant something more since they were prepping for Money in the Bank. It's like, all the qualifying matches, which one thing totally baffles me, but I guess we'll go on that a little later. But this one was just, it's happening. Most of the matches, at least two matches are set. We're starting to plant seeds for the lower card matches, but when it comes to the two main event, it was nothing in particular.
Mm-hmm. It felt like this week was just kind of random. Really, I'm watching Raw, and I'm like, okay, we could be building up for Money in the Bank, but no.
They choose not to.
We're just gonna throw matches and segments out here and see what sticks and see what the crowd likes and that kind of deal. And then all building up for John Cena's return, and that came out of nowhere. That still kind of random, but came out of nowhere. And yeah,
what happened to the AJ Styles John Cena return?
Yeah, just still kind of random, but in a good way. And it was pretty much, and then in the news week, it's just more stuff that can building on what we already know of stuff that happened in past weeks, and regular build up for Takeover.
Yeah, for some reason it felt like this week the wrestling world was getting interesting despite itself somehow.
This week was there.
Yeah,
it was.
So let's go right into what exactly we might mean by that with a little bit of backstage news.
Indeed, I can't wait to see what's interesting in your world, fool, by us peeking behind the curtains and checking in on a little
backstage news.
That was a very haphazard meh.
Well, it's been a very haphazard week. Can you blame them?
Yeah, true.
So don't worry, I got your back here.
So let's get the bummer stuff out of the way. The latest on Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know what you're talking about.
Apparently he is mentally unfit to stand trial for the murder of his ex-girlfriend several years back.
It doesn't matter. He still did it.
Let's put it this way, okay? Speaking in Game of Thrones terms, okay, Jimmy Snuka actually knows nothing. He doesn't know. He didn't know who the president was. Okay, he is so into his dementia that he shouldn't even be out in public anymore. Them parading him out, or he's really good at acting. Okay, but every question they asked him at this hearing, he had no clue what was going on. He didn't know his birthday. Okay.
What time is it, Mr. Snuka? Pineapples.
Oh boy.
Too many shots to the head with those coconuts. That's what that is.
How many times did he get hit in the head with a coconut? It was just the Roddy Piper incident?
It doesn't matter. He still did it.
I'm sure he did.
I'm convinced he did it. He may be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs now, but whatever. He may have lost his mind. It doesn't matter.
He can't stand trial, but he'll be in
coconuts.
Oh God. He can't stand trial. He can't stand trial because of it, but he's going to be in a mental home for forever. No, there's nothing left. There's nothing in there anymore.
And then he'll charge you $40 to try and meet him in person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Or in case to take a photo with him.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I went to one of his book signings, and instead it said, "Oh, if you want a picture with Mr. Snuka, you have to pay $40 extra plus buying the book." Yeah, no, I think I had more fun meeting the co-writer of his book.
John.
John.
John was fun.
And I still managed to sneak a photo of him. Not with me, but just a photo with him. And John.
John.
Of course, I had to wear my Undertaker shirt when I met him. It's like, oh, hi, number one. Mr. One before one.
Oh,
1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0.
Just curious, did Snuka react to that fact at all, or did he not remember?
He didn't care.
No.
I think the one thing that he cared about was one of the people asking a question was asking, "Are you really related to The Rock?" And he was just like, "Yep."
Like, I don't even care.
I don't care. I'm getting your money.
So, who knows what will become of Jimmy Snuka now? It's hard to see him in that state.
Who knows? I know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be in a mental home for the rest of his life. There's no other... They're going to sit him in a seat, sentence him to the loony bin.
And then when he looks at his next nurses, he's going to pull a Deadpool and see a bunch of cartoon characters bouncing on the nurse's shoulder with Chicago. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration.
Oh, boy.
That's how kooky he is now.
Yeah, it's done.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. He can't stand trial, but he can sit in the seat and the judge can tell him to go to the loony bin and live out the rest of his days.
Oh, this is so sad.
What's sad? Is he
It
OJ'd
is
out
sad,
of it?
but if he actually killed that, what was it, his ex-girlfriend or something?
I think it was his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
If he actually killed his girlfriend,
he OJ'd
oh well, right? Oh well.
It's a little late to punish him now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now you punish him by, instead of him being loony in his home, he'll be loony in a loony bin for the rest of his life.
Oh, brother.
That's how you punish that.
Well,
Superfly.
Superfly. Anyway, on the brighter side of life, that was the bad news. The good news is, I'm not sure if this is a big deal or not to you guys, but they just added to Netflix The Resurrection of Jake the Snake. Have you guys seen this yet?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Is it out?
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix like a day or two ago.
I heard they were releasing it, but I didn't know that it was
I know
out.
exactly what I'm doing as of the end of this recording.
I got a chance to watch it earlier today. I was expecting it to just be like a big ad for DDP Yoga or something.
That's what I was expecting too. It's not.
Honestly, no, it's
was
not.
he even involved? Was he interviewed at least?
DDP?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's filmed like a documentary. Basically, you've probably seen like little snippets here and there of just DDP working with him.
Mm-hmm.
Those apparently were part of the larger documentary. This documentary. So a lot of the big key moments are still in there, but they're put together so nicely, and it's really put together in a way that explains professional wrestling to outsiders, while also really illuminating every single step of the way that Jake the Snake went through during this whole debacle, and you really get a sense of how far he fell and how far he crawled up and what he went through to get back. I mean, DDP and all this wrestling, all of it's pushed to the wayside. This seems like a legitimately good, gripping documentary.
I can't wait to watch it.
This is one of those things, like going back to the last story we did, this is the complete opposite. A man's life getting destroyed to possibly the biggest success story you have ever heard in the land of wrestling.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Jake the Snake, 5 years ago, we thought he was going to die within a month. Okay, 5 years ago, he looked like shit, couldn't stop drinking, was all kinds of out of shape, and now he's probably in the best shape of his life. This is a complete redemptive story. Okay, this is something you would see on those CW television dramas. Okay, played out in real life.
Yeah, oof.
And watching that on a documentary that apparently gives it justice according to Scholar Jeff, that's big. I love that.
Yeah, again, if you've ever seen Jake the Snake talk about any sort of serious material like this, no pun intended, it is extremely sobering, and it's not the easiest watching at certain points, but it's one of those things where you get a lot out of it if you know what you're getting yourself into and you're ready to watch that kind of thing, because it's definitely is a roller coaster ride.
For me, Jake the Snake Roberts' whole pretty much quote-quote storyline kind of reminds me of the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. But in a more, I guess, reaching a darker tone, plus it actually has a happy ending.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you see Jake at different points of his life where he's at his most broken, and just when he was using the most and he was just using all the time. And you see the big difference between where he starts and where he ends. And you see how smart and quick-witted he is when he's lucid and he's sober and he's just on the ball. He's super sharp. Same thing with Scott Hall, who also makes an appearance in this movie. The difference is like night and day. They go from being old, broken down wrestlers to grizzled veterans. It's like they went back in time 20 years.
And Scott Hall slips every now and again, but he's always able to come out of it now, not looking like Scott Hall of old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, it seems like DDP says "fuck" every 30 seconds, so
It's
just fun to
DDP.
watch.
With a DDP smile of his.
Yes. It's like Positively Page, except just add someone saying the word "fuck" every 30 seconds. That's pretty much DDP's
That's
style.
not a bad thing. That's a fucking good thing.
Seriously, that's like 90% of his dialogue throughout the entire movie.
I'm gonna make you fucking like you.
Seriously, that's the way he talks throughout most of the movie. That is scary accurate. Oh man, but still, all kidding aside, this without a doubt is a must-see for every single wrestling fan out there. If you like good documentaries, if you like good wrestlers, if you like to see good redemption stories, there's no doubt in my mind Resurrection of Jake the Snake is a must-watch, especially now it's on Netflix. Now no one has an excuse. Go watch it. Put this on pause, go watch it, and then come back.
Put this on pause. Okay, you're back.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, wasn't that a good film? Yeah, woo! Go Jake. All right. So anyway, that's our backstage news.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And now this one just snuck up on me. This upcoming Wednesday, we got another NXT Takeover. Takeover The End.
This is the end. My only friend, the end. It was just recently changed to The End, correct?
As I understand it, or at least that's when I first heard about it.
Because before, I don't think they even... It was just another NXT Takeover, and they just recently... Actually, I think it was this past week that they announced it as NXT Takeover The End.
It pretty much telegraphs what's going to happen in the main event, doesn't it?
At least with the main roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end. We know what's going to happen, but it's still got to be fantastic because it's NXT. It's like even if it's predictable as hell what's going to happen, okay, NXT still puts on a good enough show where you're like, okay, that's fine.
Well, without further ado, let's just jump right into the card. First match, Ty Dillinger versus a debuting Andrade Cien Almas. I'm probably butchering that horribly.
If it's a debut, you can...
Debut of the guy who used to be a luchador.
If it's a debut, you could pretty much tell that the guy who used to be a luchador is probably going to win.
Yeah, speaking of... I think his real name is Manny Andrade, something like that. Have we seen anything from this guy yet?
The name doesn't ring a bell to me.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think it came from AAA. I honestly don't know too much about him at the current moment.
Well, if he came from AAA, let's hope he's better than Sin Cara.
Came from AAA. Let's just hope he's really good with cars.
I'm surprised no one made that joke sooner. Knee slapper.
He does cars for a living. Low rider. It's purely racist.
We miss you, Eddie Guerrero. We do.
We're going to hell.
There's something in the clear liquid in this episode, I swear. So yeah,
it's called NyQuil. No,
that's what that shit is.
Oh yes.
Night, mommy.
Oh yes.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of oh yes,
we've got what could possibly be an match of the night contender. Austin Aries versus some guy. What's this guy's name? I don't know.
Just say it.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I wasn't even acknowledging that. I was like, you know what? Let him have his fun with this. Let him try and be like, oh yeah, who's this guy that I secretly are in love with? Yeah,
No.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
And
No.
did you say potential match of the night candidate?
Yes.
This is another potential match of the year
And
candidate. Okay,
Nakamura Aries?
this is gonna be the match of the night. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay, it's gonna be the same thing as last time. Shinsuke is probably gonna come out on top.
The most charismatic man
But
in NXT.
Nakamura versus Aries, it's right up there with Nakamura Zayn, in my opinion. On paper.
Knowing NXT and how they actually allow their wrestlers to have the creative freedom in the ring, yeah, I think this is going to be an awesome match. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah. As much as I still say that Nakamura is going to win this one,
The man is just walking charisma.
Yeah.
He's
I've got a feeling that this is going to be the one big time where Austin Aries is really going to shine. Because I feel like, I'm not sure what your impressions were, but since he debuted and has his first match went at the same show that Nakamura debuted at, I feel like he sort of got overshadowed by Nakamura. a bit.
Well, because the problem was the opponent. Okay, when you give Nakamura Zayn and you give Aries Corbin, okay, there's gonna be drop off.
and then you kick him in the nuts.
Yeah.
my friend.
You've been kicked in the nuts.
Kicked in the nuts.
You're gonna be on TV.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that show. It's such a great show.
Oh, brother.
So it's not now. Now Nakamura will most likely win, but now we have someone who can actually stand against Aries, and they can put on an amazing match together instead of Aries having to pull Corbin through the match that they had at WrestleMania Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Takeover Dallas.
Indeed.
Dallas.
Great show.
I forget NXT Takeover titles. Always have, always will.
Just say,
When it comes
Takeover.
when it comes with the WrestleMania weekend, just think of where they were.
Texas.
And I sometimes forget that too. So
It's like
because
how could you forget they had a bull on their logo.
because WrestleMania Dallas was not the most memorable thing I've ever seen.
Got that right.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
God, I hated that show.
Hey, at least maybe next year will be better.
Maybe
Yeah.
still doesn't get it. It's got to have to be a lot better to get that WrestleMania taste out of my mouth.
Well, hey, we'll see how it develops, and hey, Lord willing, this could be the setup for a next round of additions to the main roster.
Nope. And it's build up for NXT Brooklyn. Takeover Brooklyn 2.
Yeah. By the way, did I mention about takeover tickets for NXT Brooklyn?
I believe you mentioned it last week.
I heard they were really, really mad prices.
Yeah, last I checked, they're still really
they're insane. Like, they cost more than actual SummerSlam tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember talking about
they
that.
are pretty insane.
Mm-hmm. Either way, this is going to be a star-making turn for both these guys.
NXT, take our money.
NXT, take my money, please.
Pretty much.
How much?
We'll gladly pay $300 a seat.
NXT, take your money.
Speaking of paying $300 each, next match, NXT Women's Title, Asuka versus Nia Jax.
I
What do you got?
I watched the contract signing for this one. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, so
I'm still going for Asuka.
Asuka!
That's right. I told you I'm just gonna stick with it. But at least they're making Nia Jax look awesome, like a credible opponent for her.
I can see this going another takeover as well. So maybe Asuka wins this one.
No, come on, Brian. You all know what they want.
Asuka!
They want Asuka versus Eva Marie at NXT Takeover SummerSlam. Come on.
And now I need the NyQuil.
We all know that's what they're going for because Vince McMahon has a complete hard-on for Eva Marie.
Oh.
And he wants her to be the top NXT woman. You know, it's so hard to say this because it leaves just a rotten taste in my mouth.
You can't say it with a straight face. You start giggling.
I wasn't even giggling. I was gagging. I was just like, Eva Marie is going for the
Speaking of which, where has she been lately?
Who the hell cares?
Pretty much.
She's being set up for the title. I'm kind of surprised that she hasn't been on TV very much.
What he said.
At all.
What he said.
So
you're wasting too much of their precious thought on that garbage.
The less she's on TV, the more of a chance we'll get somebody else at
exactly my
Brooklyn.
point. Exactly my point. So honestly, at this point, I'm not even worried about Eva Marie at this point.
Yeah.
Poison.
But here Asuka.
That's right.
Will retain. Okay.
Because
you want your big female face of the company being the champion going into the big NXT pay-per-view. Like this is a secondary pay-per-view event. Okay, you want your big star of the division that isn't Bayley to be the champion going into the big show. So
going into the big show?
Oh God.
God, Brian, that's just
big show hungry.
That's just
big show.
I think they had Mark Henry have someone that looks like they're having a little person inside them. Come on,
WWE camp.
Yeah,
that was silly.
That show is silly.
That show is very silly.
Did you guys see? Speaking minor digression here. Did you guys see the last episode?
The one with Steve Austin and McMahon?
Yes. Hi, I'm Lex Luger.
That part, I completely lost it. The episode was just dragging for me. I was just like, okay, this is just another Camp WWE. Yeah, it gets a chuckles at me. Hi, I'm Lex Luger.
And Bray Wyatt, little Bray Wyatt.
That was...
that one was probably one of the best episodes they had.
It was, but that was still just weird.
And
plus, it's weird seeing little mini John Cena wearing a sheep mask. Being the DJ.
Yeah. Talking about mini Bray Wyatt. Updates on Bray Wyatt when he's coming back. Apparently, he's confirmed for next week's TV.
Yay!
Doesn't matter. Don't know which Raw or SmackDown, but word is he'll be back next week.
Who cares? Uncle Bray's back. Yay!
Yay!
And there's talks of them getting rid of the 7th participant in the Money in the Bank and just having 6.
Yay! That's good enough for me.
I read that too. Even though the .com itself still has 7 spaces.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. Maybe they're thinking, okay, now they want to drop it storyline-wise and have him... Well, this is just me doing fantasy booking now. Bray Wyatt, like, they'll have the 6 participants in another 6-man tag or something. And then all of a sudden the show ends with Uncle Bray holding, like, the lights go out, dirt! And it comes back on, dirt! With him holding the golden briefcase.
Either holding the golden briefcase or sitting underneath the ladder like he did in those photos.
Now that would, you know what? That would be fun. I'd love to see him with the briefcase, just because he can go herp derp, and then that's pretty much what the Money in the Bank holder does anyway. Plus, it'll give him that huge aura of menace,
So
even
derp,
more.
derp.
And then the lights go, out, come back on again, and he's gone.
That can be so much fun. But anyway, speaking of my fun here, going back to the NXT Women's title for a minute.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yes, we were. And you know what? I'm going to go record of saying it. I actually want Nia Jax to win.
You want her to...
You're
just
going
because
against
you want
your girl?
Is it just because you want her to go up to the main roster?
Well, that would be nice too, but I don't think that's really ready yet. More in the sense that I would like to, because of the departure of all the horsewomen and Bayley, I think Bayley has a very good shot of being brought up to the main roster. I would like to see more people elevated. And I think there's no one really who's quite as ready to face Asuka right now as Nia Jax.
I'll go with that.
So just to keep some sort of freshness, because right now,
Right
now, Asuka's just like female Brock Lesnar.
No.
And so she needs to seem beatable. Because right now there really isn't, unless they're going to go for a fluke upset win with somebody coming up. Right now, Nia is really one of the only ones that looks credible right now.
Fluke upset win by Eva Marie.
Nah. If anything, if they really want to go maximum heel mode, they can have Nia beat Asuka and basically pull an Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase, where Eva Marie just shows up with her Total Divas box and be like, yeah, okay, thank you, good job, here, give me the title. And she does. The fans will probably crap on it, but
instead of her pulling a Ted DiBiase, I just see her pulling a mixture of the finger poke of Doom and Hulk Hogan winning the title of on Yokozuna. Mixture of that one. Where it's her coming out saying, okay, you're the champion, guess what? I'm back, and I'm challenging you right now for the women's title, and it'll just be a finger poke of Doom type of moment. And we just find out that she's Eva Marie's muscle.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, because no one would buy the line of Total Divas bucks.
There's no such thing.
Exactly my point. No one would buy that.
Total
Anyway.
Divas means jack shit now.
Yeah,
especially since they dropped the term divas.
I know, really.
Yeah.
It looks so bad now. It makes
like,
no sense.
And now...
Total women.
And now what is
Total
the
Bellas.
Oh...
I'm gonna throw Larry at you.
Thank you for returning my Larry.
Damn it, Larry!
He was like, what? It's not my fault.
It's always your fault, Larry.
Alright, let's...
You cut your dick off, Larry.
You be nice to Larry. Anyway, moving on to actual good wrestling, not Eva Marie related. NXT Tag Team titles. American Alpha versus The Revival. The big rematch. What do you got?
If it's as good as the first match was, we're in for a classic over here, man. But either way, American
Alpha
retains.
Yeah, that one's
easy.
That one's fairly easy. But speaking of the NXT Tag Division, did you guys get a chance to see the debut of TM61?
I did not.
Formerly
No,
the
sir.
Mighty Don't Kneel.
No, sir.
Yeah, this was... I thought they were okay. They pulled off some pretty smooth, impressive tag team moves. And their pre-match promo, they actually did say the Mighty Don't Kneel. We are the Mighty and the Mighty Don't Kneel. Again, I don't have the most exposure to these guys, but from what I saw, they're pretty solid. They're going to be a real solid tag team for the division going forward.
And then their major rivalry going up to the main roster is against the Shining Stars.
Oh, brother.
Hey, I had to knock you down on that.
As long as the Shining Stars start jobbing now, I think I'll be okay.
Even though they do make me want to go to Puerto Rico.
And the Shining Stars win the feud!
That's the only good thing that they actually are getting right. It's like, you know what? I kind of want to go there. It actually does look very beautiful.
Good for the Puerto Rico Tourism Board. Bad for the WWE Tag Division. Anyway, that was really weird. So I think we're all in agreement here. American Alpha for the win.
Yeah.
I think that these guys can actually hold it for a long time, depending on whether they come up to the roster at any point soon or not.
Mm-hmm. And now for the listed main event. Yet again, we've got Samoa Joe as a champion versus Finn Balor for the NXT World Title. Guys, who do you got, and how does this go down?
I don't really care how it goes down, but Samoa Joe
I don't see this going down any other way except Samoa Joe dominating over the demon, Finn Balor.
Samoa Joe retains, and Finn Balor comes up to the main roster. Bam, boom, done.
Bam, bam, boom.
Alright, so that's pretty much a consensus on all you guys after everyone thinks that Finn Balor is going to go on the main roster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, having said that, is someone new going to debut on NXT?
I could see Hideo Itami returning.
Kojima!
That's right.
You know what? I was actually thinking when I was looking at this card, like, there's got to be some sort of... Something's missing here. There's got to be a debut.
Because it's like, this is too much of a cookie-cutter, obvious show. So it's like, there's got to be some kind of surprise coming.
And you know what? I think you're right. I think Hideo Itami's going to be the... He deserves to come back. And he deserves to come back to a big feud like this with Joe.
Yeah.
It makes too much sense now. I can't not see it.
Because he's one of Triple H's 4, if you will. It was Itami, Balor, Owens, and Zayn, wasn't it?
Yep, Itami, Balor, Owens, Zayn, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the last of the 4.
So boom, Balor goes up to the main roster, back comes Itami.
I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. It is a good plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Love your Ghostbusters reference.
Hey, when it fits, it fits.
Don't cross the streams.
Never cross the streams. In the meantime, we sure had a Monday Night Raw, didn't we?
It was there.
Let me put it this way. It was 25% good stuff, 75% why is this really the best you can do?
25% good stuff, 75% complete randomness.
I think one thing. I want to start from the low end to the top. The low end. I posted this on Twitter. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. The feud that just keeps going and going and going.
Stop it!
although I do like that Dolph Ziggler is just not giving a shit. I like that he's like, okay, I'm going to show you what technical wrestling is all about. No, I'm just going to kick you in the nuts, you little bitch.
Yeah,
and Dolph Ziggler gets disqualified, but the loser is still Baron Corbin. All he needed to do was just say, bitch, and just drop the mic. So I'm just like, you know what? This is something that Dolph needs.
That would have been the perfect time for a mic drop.
I just like that it's... Ziggler is not being the cookie cutter good guy. He's just the guy who just doesn't give a shit. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
he's playing his character. He's playing his character in real life.
Yeah, he's back to being heel Ziggler, but still being the good guy. I liked it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like that they're actually adding story to this other than just random matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like I said, it's a feud that's just going to keep going and going and going. No, Baron Corbin is not going to have a second feud. He'll just have the one feud for the rest of his career.
A 5-year feud.
A 5-year feud.
5
Dolph
years
Ziggler versus Baron Corbin.
Culminating.
It all comes down to this. And the next match. And maybe the next match.
And
maybe the match after that.
How long before they get the title Kings of the Pre-Show?
They're already there.
Ouch.
Since they're gonna have another.
They had 2? Yeah, they're gonna have another. To get the title, you gotta have 3 pre-show matches in a row. So, what was on Ryback's belt at Extreme Rules?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Pre-show stopper.
I didn't even notice that. He really had that?
Yeah.
Yep.
When he did the CM Punk pose and his belt said pre-show stopper. I'm like,
Back when Ryback stopped giving a fuck.
Wow. See, it's little moments like that really make me miss Ryback. But hey, what you gonna do?
Like I said, this is now just planting the seeds of the lower card for Money in the Bank, which WWE doesn't really care about. But you know what? As long as it's good storytelling, it's good enough for me. And even though Brian said earlier before we started recording, he honestly doesn't care about this. I certainly do because it's something new and fresh. Titus O'Neil stepping up to go against Rusev after he. Now I'll use your term that you used before the recording when Rusev, when Zack Ryder was fed to Rusev. Now that's being fed. But I see them actually doing.
Zack Ryder, feed him all day long.
Yeah, right. I 100% agree. Even though once upon a time I actually was a broski, but now it's just sad.
I'm always a broski.
All he can do now is post sad Twitter tweets.
He can't. His matches now is just that broski boot. He lands that broski boot. The match is already over because the guy who he's facing is just going to reverse it into a finishing move.
I just feel like he's cookie cutter now. Like back in the day when the broskis first became huge and all that, it was a new thing. It was fresh. He had fresh moves and all that. And now it's just okay. Seen it, done it. You're kind of a whiner now. I don't want that on my TV. Get off my TV.
Boo, boo, boo.
But back to the feud at hand. This is something that Titus O'Neil definitely needs, especially since he's other than John Cena, he is the biggest fundraiser guy. So I actually think this is going to be real. I think this is going to be really great for him in the long run.
I'll recant my earlier statement of Titus O'Neil being fed to Rusev, but it kind of feels like this is, for me at least, it feels like this is a 1 month and done.
Yeah, to me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. Do I want that? Not really. I actually think Rusev and Titus O'Neil could actually put on a good program. I mean, this was a good start. It's someone other than John Cena saying, I am an American and I'm proud. Even though Rusev's anti-American promo made no sense. What was he going on about cheese?
I don't even remember. I seriously don't.
Nonsensical cheese.
Nonsensical cheese.
Now we've got nonsensical cheese now.
Yeah, but don't worry. You don't have to bring cheese for us next week.
Hey, to be fair, I elected to bake the nonsensical cake this week, just all on my own accord.
And it was delicious. Thank you for
it.
You're welcome, guys.
But,
who knows? Maybe there will be nonsensical cheese.
Okay, now that you said nonsensical cheese, I remember what we were talking about.
Now it all comes.
But if you want to have someone who can mention cheese and actually get away with it, it's Big Cass. So apparently, how you doing is the new what.
And you know what? I'm okay with it.
It worked. It worked so well with that. But I will say, I love what they're doing with Enzo and Cass. Like, I like that they're feuding with a credible team in the Dudleys.
Mm-hmm.
But with saying that, them being a credible team also hurts them because this has been a one-sided feud. Dudleys has not won a single match, especially losing 2 matches to Big Cass by himself, and then losing a tag team match. This feud should be over with.
This feud should have been over with.
Hell, we talked about this even when Enzo and Cass first showed up. How they would actually be it would be a good stepping stone for Enzo and Cass to be a legit team. But this is just a feud that's just, in a way, the Dudleys are being fed to Enzo and Cass.
And you know what? They're the Dudleys. They can stand to do it. And in my eyes,
but
that's what they should be doing.
It's going to start getting old once we get down to the 5th and 6th match.
Well, you could say that about almost any feud on the card right now.
But when it's the first feud for a big up and coming tag team, okay, 2 and 3, 2 matches, 3 matches, get out of there. Okay, you don't want to get these guys bogged down in a feud where they're just beating up on the Dudleys for months on end.
Yeah,
it's just the fact that if they're just going to keep doing this a one-sided thing, why should we care? Like, I understand what you were saying, Fool, about it's what the Dudleys should be doing, but it's got to make them look credible too. to a point where they actually shown that being a threat to Enzo and Cass, like what Chris Jericho's doing. Yes, he's in a position where he's putting over younger talent, but he's still got to look credible in it. And the Dudleys don't. They look like they just keep getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because if they're setting up for something like at the next pay-per-view or at SummerSlam where they're doing like a fatal four-way tag team championship match, okay, and they're gonna put the Dudleys in there, okay, you're gonna be like, well, we know who's losing. That's it. It's one of those, like, you gotta, if you're setting up for something down the line with these two teams going for the tag team titles, okay, either the Dudleys have to win a couple or scrap your plans because you failed.
Yeah, that's
making that make sense.
That's kind of the reason why I don't think this feud is going to go on for very much longer before they move on to something else.
Yeah,
that's what my guts tell me anyway.
And continuing on the low end of building Money in the Bank, I know a lot of people hated this online. I want to hear your two's opinion on this. What they're doing with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, what they did with Roman cutting a not even 2-minute promo saying he's the guy and he wants to face the man, which is Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins continuously running back and forth. Is he going to say something? No, he's not. Running back and forth. He's going to go in.
Rollins.
It was really weird. Okay, it's like troll Rollins. Okay, but at some point it's got to cut off. Okay, you got to make your decision.
He did ran a little too long.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like they were trying to pull the Jericho trolling the audience when he first came back, and he was all happy-go-lucky, and he just showed up and did a bunch of face stuff to get the crowd going and leave. But I feel like with this one, yes, but you guys said it was going on way too long, and it was just boring.
I was like when Roman Reigns came out and cut the 2-minute promo, I was like, okay, they kept it short, they kept it sweet, whatever. It's not a very good promo, but hey, it's Roman Reigns. 2 minutes, get off the mic, get out, whatever. And then Seth Rollins comes out, and I was like, okay, the segment's got to get better. Seth Rollins knows what he's doing. And then I'm like, he runs down to the ring, runs back. Okay. Does it again. Okay. I'm just like, what are we doing here?
I feel like the one thing that they should have done to make this segment work is have Seth Rollins come out first. Have Seth Rollins be the one to come out and talk, because unlike Roman Reigns, he can cut a lengthy promo and he'll just go on explaining how he's not afraid of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is nothing more than a musclehead when I was the one behind the Shield, because they'll just keep bringing up the Shield storyline, because really that's all that they have with this feud. It's like, oh yeah, these guys were part of the Shield. Seth Rollins hit Roman Reigns with a steel chair to break up the Shield. Feud!
Wants to get the title back that Seth never lost.
Yeah.
Feud.
And Seth could have been like, he's doing nothing more than just keeping my belt warm, and I got him at eating out of the palm of my hands because I know how much he wants to kill me, and he's not going to do it because I'm smarter than him. And then have Roman Reigns come out and just walk into the ring, and he just says, "I'm going," and he doesn't say anything on the mic. He says, "I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you, man." And then he walks in, and Seth Rollins leaves again, and then do the teasing, but only do it like once or twice.
Yeah,
and just shows that he really does have Roman Reigns. He really has his number.
Yeah.
In this one, they just like, oh yeah, we'll just skip the storyline part and just do a visual, but not do a visual storytelling very well.
The trolling was out of control.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of funny and interesting at first because he started doing a Jericho thing where I saw it and I was like, oh, I got it, cool. Then it just went on way too long, and eventually it just felt like the whole thing just felt like a placeholder to me.
It just feels like you have the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's like, oh yeah, we have something golden coming in the Money in the Bank briefcase, and you open it up, and it's just that emoji piece of shit.
Oh, wow.
That's
a heck of a visual right there.
That's the thing. It's like, here's your main event in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Is it Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns with great storytelling? No, it's that shit emoji trolling us all. How's that for a thumbnail for this episode?
What? Just a big poop emoji on a Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yes.
Oh boy,
that's
it.
And I'm just gonna let you guys know that was my idea that I wanted to tell you guys before we started recording.
Okay.
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the show.
Suddenly, it all makes sense.
I was like, he thought about this,
but am I wrong?
No, it's great.
And now let's actually get to the two positive things that came out of this.
Two.
I'm only going to say two because that 6-man tag match was great. But you know what? That was it.
Oh,
that's all you can say about it.
Yeah.
Great 6-man tag match with 6 great competitors. The only good thing I like about it is they threw seeds of a potential Kevin Owens Chris Jericho feud down the line, which I love.
And that will never go wrong.
And that will never go wrong. That's all I have to say. Plus, the fact that Dean Ambrose found out that Sami Zayn is Canadian was quite hands down hilarious. That's all you can say about it. Now on to the big moment.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised we took so long to get to it.
Well, it's kind of the biggest moment that happened on
Raw.
Raw.
The lows to the highs.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
You talk about the shit first, and now we get to the goods. Now we get to the juicy bits.
With, of course, John Cena making his big return. Talking about Memorial Day and the people who sacrifice themselves.
And you're like, oh no. Here we go.
And then it's like, they sacrifice so I can be here and can return to Monday Night Raw. John Cena. Moo.
And he's talking about the United States.
And he's talking about how
and you're like, oh no. What we said is going to come to pass. Oh no.
And then he goes on about the new era. And he's like, with the new era, if you want to be if you want to take over, you gotta get through me.
And then it's like, ooh, okay.
It's like, oh good, oh good. Pretty much saying for John Cena to feed on the new era. Thank you so much for. I am phenomenal. AJ Styles and John Cena in the same ring. Oh my god!
And
okay,
I didn't believe me, but I knew.
And it would only get better from there.
A certain phrase came to mind later on in the evening. Something that you said several times. Coined a phrase.
Epic beatdown.
Oh yeah, you.
That wasn't epic beatdown.
This what happened in this segment was the definition of an epic beatdown.
That's what I was.
That's what I was like.
That's literally all I was thinking the entire time. I was just watching. I was like, okay, this is exactly what I have in mind when I'm wanting an epic beatdown.
Oh, I knew it was coming the second Anderson and Gallows came down. Because after they did an awesome beatdown on the New Day, which, yay, giving Anderson and Gallows something amazing to do for later. Mm-hmm. It's like, after the whole AJ Styles, I respect you, people wanted to see this for a long time. Granted that AJ Styles John Cena chant was pretty epic.
No.
That was, I'm glad they sustained that.
And as soon as they came down, it's like, now we're going to kick some ass. We're going to do what we said we were going to do and kick some ass. Even if it's your ass, we have to kick too. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna do it. He's gonna turn heel, isn't he? Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you know, AJ takes off his shirt. He's like, come on, man, come on, help me here. Let's take them on. John Cena takes off the shirt. Psych! Boom! I will take you down. And we got the return of the club after a week. It was all part of the plan.
Not now.
Oh, it's not. I loved it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. AJ Styles keeps running back and just beating the shit out of John Cena. And once again, Brian, to your shining glowingness that's happening to you right now, that was the definition of an epic beatdown.
Now, okay, hate to rain on the parade. Okay, the segment was great. The segment was great.
I think
but
I know
now,
where he's going to go with this.
Now, you're on the Superman Part 2. Okay. How... He's not going to make AJ Styles look bad. Okay, but how bad is he going to make Anderson and Gallows look? That's it.
Probably not too bad, and I'll explain why.
I think I think Anderson and Gallows is just gonna be similar to what they did with Roman Reigns, but they're gonna still they're still gonna look incredibly strong to everyone else that they come in contact with. It's still because it's LOL. John Cena wins. LOL.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to beatdowns.
At least they're not.
I just see.
At least in the tag team division right now, they're not going up against the Usos, who made them look kind of silly too.
I've got an idea.
Shoot.
This is obviously not going to happen right away, but this will probably happen maybe closer to SummerSlam. I'm betting that they're going to pull a repeat of what they did in New Japan, and they're going to have AJ eventually win the title, and then they're going to have the Bullet Club just take the tag titles. Where they're just going to have a whole bunch of titles.
You think? Well, that just skips my one Scholar's Quick Talk that I made up while we were recording. I actually made up 2 of them. So I guess we'll just...
I'm thinking that's going to... Not right away, but my money is... I think it's plausible down the line.
I was going to say in my Scholar's Quick Talk, all members of the club will win titles in 2016.
I can see it. I'm not gonna say AJ wins the big title, but I can see Intercontinental and tag team.
I can see that.
I can see it.
I can see the tag team titles for Anderson and Gallows, and a bit more of a bold prediction. I can see Machine Gun taking the Intercontinental title next in 2017.
Because my problem with saying World Heavyweight title is it was just made to look so completely bad in his battles for the World Heavyweight title. So they're gonna need some time to build him back up, as it were, because Roman Reigns made him look silly. So I'm like, Intercontinental title.
Hey, I still think the shot is there.
Oh, the shot is there, just not in 2016, 2017.
I just think before they can do anything, I think they actually have to add 1 or 2 more members.
Yeah.
This club has to be a faction.
They've got
not just a trio, a faction.
They've got possibility of 1 coming up. Okay.
I don't think they're going to go there.
I think they're going to have to at some point. Because think about it, because Finn Balor bought him in Japan. It was Finn Balor as the leader, and then when he came to the WWE, AJ Styles took over as the leader. So, it might not be right away, but I can see Finn Balor joining the club.
I think he's a little too profitable as he is right now.
You could have said that about Styles, too.
Well, I don't know. Styles didn't have, like, that huge... He was certainly skilled, incredibly so. But, I don't know. I don't think he got over in the exact same way that Finn Balor did in NXT. But, anyway, that's just my opinion.
It probably would have been different if AJ actually was on NXT at some point, but...
Yeah. I'm glad, though, with the way they're treating him so far. We'll see where it goes.
And for my second Scholar's Quick Talk, with a good couple weeks build-up of the Twitter machine posting a picture of a weird vault in the middle of nowhere, everyone was speculating what the hell was this all about. They revealed that it's because Bill Goldberg is going to be a pre-order
It's like the
downloadable content
yeah.
for 2K17, and I don't know about you guys, but once they opened that door and it was Bill Goldberg, I kind of lost my shit.
Yeah,
I was kind of let down, honestly. Like, oh, this is what they're doing.
kind of was hoping that Bray Wyatt was just sitting in a rocking chair behind it. But I was
that would have been neat.
It's for the video game. Oh, okay.
Oh, one thing I definitely did like that was very subtle, and I actually noticed it the second time I watched it, was when the officers were walking to talking to that vault. It was
yeah, and that should have been the moment where I was like, I know who this is, but
I was at Charlie's watching Raw, and you know how loud it gets there.
Yeah,
it honestly wasn't clicking, and then all of a sudden they opened the vault. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, superhero landing, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But I also liked the subtle suplex city on the reflection of the window, which leads to my second Scholars Quick Talk. Will Goldberg make an appearance on WWE television before 2K17 comes out?
I think he's still in good enough shape, so I'm going to say yes.
Before it comes out?
Because if you remember, Sting showed up after 2K16, correct?
I believe so.
Was it 15 or 16?
He
was the special pre-order.
It was 16?
I want to say 16.
And then after they released the game, that's when he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's when Dolph Ziggler went ham in the Survivor Series 2015. Mm-hmm. So yeah. No, 2000. It was 15.
Was it 15?
It was 15.
My chronology is way off.
It was 15. So I don't believe we see Goldberg beforehand. Could we see him in a WrestleMania type spot? Sure, I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon to try it, but it's also one of those things where
we get the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match that we were actually promised,
and that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, do I really want to see that after what happened the first time?
Well, the only thing I can really say is this time will be under completely different circumstances.
Yes, and that's what gives me hope.
Yeah. And that's the sign of hope. But trust me, after what happened his first run, R, not W, his first run, I do want him to come back and kind of redeem that. Because with how much of an impact Goldberg made in wrestling, to have him leave the wrestling business, giving people the middle finger because he didn't give a shit at WrestleMania 20, that would just leave a sour taste.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserves to give us more something more respectable than that. And I see this being a potential Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he deserves to to have a shot. I'm saying if he comes back, he better give us something better than WrestleMania 20.
I think if he does come back, I think he will. I really, really do.
Because just from the build-up, the only way he comes back for a match, just from what you said, the Vault, Suplex City, okay, the only way he comes back will be at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Other than Brock Lesnar, who would you want to see him wrestle?
Oh, boy.
Honestly, that's the only person.
I have one other person in mind.
To be completely honest.
And it's not just because I'm a hardcore fanboy. I just think these guys would actually put on a fun match. It would be my boy Cesaro.
Cesaro? I can see that.
I could see Kevin Owens, too.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but I just feel like he'll come back for...
So, Roman, you think you could take my spear, huh? You're next!
Please.
I feel like he'd come back only to redeem himself and take his Hall of Fame spot and then ride off
into the sunset. On his motorcycle.
On his motorcycle.
Possibly
not having the bitter taste in his mouth of the WrestleMania 20 experience.
Mm-hmm. Totally agreed. So you have any more Scholars Quick Talks for us?
It was just those two.
All right, splendid.
I guess you can count the who would you want to see him wrestle, and I guess you can count that as a third Quick Talk.
Yeah. Certainly quick enough. I'll take it. In the meantime, I think we left off with a whole bunch of questions and not a lot of answers. Who do you think's going to win a takeover? Who should Goldberg face next? Is Goldberg coming back at all? Have you seen the resurrection of Jake the Snake? Throw some comments our way. Just leave us a comment on this video. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. Subscribe if you want to see more. You can also check us out on our Facebook page at the Scholars of Wrestling. Look us up. Join the fun. And of course, you can do what all the cool kids are doing. You can follow us on our Twitter machines. Follow us at ScholarsOW. You can also find us on our individual accounts, where sometimes we like to live tweet and tweet about random wrestling topics and just contribute to the conversation at large. Fool, where can they reach you at?
You can find me at the Avataric.
There's your mess up.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm tired.
It's late.
The fact that I actually went off with just that real one, it's pretty good.
We're good. We're still in good shape.
I am exhausted, man. This has been
then let's
a
take
crazy
it home.
night.
Brian,
Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. Whew. So, this has been quite a show for quite a week. See what happens next week. We're heading into TakeOver. What more else is there to say but we're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. Let's see what happens at TakeOver.
Take over, yeah!